I'm going to scan the audience. I think I've seen one or two faces here. My name is Chandler. If it's your first time here, I want to say welcome. When you guys came in, on your seat, there was those handouts, cards, bulletins, however you want to call them. Inside of it, there's connection cards. Make sure sometime tonight you go ahead and fill those out. And then later on, there's going to be a bucket that's passed around. You drop the card and the pen into the bucket. So, of course, tonight, so make sure you guys pay attention because tonight's message is brought to you by Crunk. So I've had a little bit of that tonight, and the message is going to reflect that. So there's going to be like pop-up ads all throughout the sermon, so just make sure you keep track of that. So of course I'm sitting here the other night and I'm Googling epic fails, and then I move on to church epic fails. And the funny thing is the song that was sung tonight, Oceans, that was great, right? Awesome job. That's the right way to do it. Let me show you the wrong way to do it. So, that is how you do Oceans on Crunk. And those of you who don't know what Crunk is, that's an energy drink, so Red Bull or Monster. So that might be good for 155. Definitely wouldn't try that on Sunday morning. But if we're looking for a new drummer, Christoph, I'm sure he's looking for work at this point right now. So last week, if you guys weren't here, and if you don't know, we record this every week, and then we go ahead and post it up on YouTube. And last week, I'll just give you some quick tidbits. There might have been a mention of Eeyore last week, and Stacia gave an awesome talk. And in it, she talked about friends and stepping out of her comfort zone. And she had a small group, or small connect group, where she was forced to be friends with someone she didn't really know. She knew him, but she didn't really know him. And just for anonymous sake, we're going to call this person Faith. All right? So she became acquaintances with Faith, and then best friends, and then super best friends. And to this day, they're super best friends. And that was kind of cool that she shared that with us, because that rolls right into this week where we're talking about friends first. And because we're with this whole first message series, and I was thinking, what would a good friend do? Well, I think a good friend would start out by making waffles. Everybody likes waffles, right? So friends could come in all sizes, colors, animation, Japanimation. My friend there happened to be my son, I think, but we'll go with Pikachu. But I heard different interpretations of what a friend is. So if I'm curious about what a friend should be, where am I going to turn to? Of course, I end up on Google. So I type into Google, what is a friend? I typed in, I didn't do the Siri, what is a friend? Because I'm an Android person. And a friend is a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection. So that just basically means you tolerate the person. That's what I get out of that. Or a friend is a member of a religious society of friends, a Quaker. So I don't know which category you guys are falling into at this point. Or a friend is when you add someone to a list of contacts associated with a social networking website. Got it. So you guys are tracking now. But I was still curious because Google didn't really answer my question. So where would I turn to next? Urban Dictionary. Urban Dictionary defines a friend as someone it's okay to fart in front of, someone you don't mind talking to on the bus for at least 20 minutes, someone you can borrow $5 and never has to pay it back. That's has to pay it. That's a quote. That's not me not talking right. Someone you'll actually call up to do stuff. Or a friend is someone when you're sitting in church after a long day and they think you're praying, but really you could be falling asleep, and rather than wake you up, they take a picture. That could be a friend. Now, in my defense, that was one of those churches that wasn't here. Pastor Jeff, I would never fall asleep on one of your sermons. But that was one of those churches where they had the sermon in the morning and the one at night, and it was a long day. So one of my friends happened to snap me in that position. But what are some things that we need to consider first when being a friend? So if I'm going to be a friend to someone, what would that, so they've gone past acquaintance and they're going to be a friend. Maybe I'd share a Rip It. Out of one of my stash, I might give them an energy drink. I have a few to spare.
So that's what's in that cabinet.
If you're in my house and you see a secret locked door, it doesn't go to Narnia, it goes to Rip It Land. And if I'm going to be a friend to someone, and you guys know, I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Almost to a fault. The problem is that you know I'm going to be honest with you, but I haven't quite perfected my delivery method yet. Example, if I see a lady get out of her car, I could say, "Ma'am, based on the humidity count today, and particularly, I can see it as having a negative effect on your hair." Or I could be like, "Oh, girl, go." One is a little more eloquent, and one is going to hurt someone's feelings. So I still need to work on that. Or in being a good friend, I could tell my drummer friend, like we saw in Oceans, that, hey, no, that's awesome. That's an awesome drum solo, but not for a big church. That's with me being a friend. Now, what do we look for first in finding friends? Are they weird like me? If you're going to be one of my friends, I need to make sure you're weird like me. Now, that is my BFF, and we're going to come back to that later, but someone that's going to dress the part and be weird like me, yeah, that's got to be one of my friends. But also, I need to know where they're going to be at in their spiritual growth. So we're moving past just are they cool? Are they fun to hang out with? Do they make me laugh? But spiritually, where are they? So in Romans, it even mentions that. Romans 1:12, it talks about if you're not going to grow spiritually, you're going to become stagnant. And if you're not growing, what are you doing? You're just kind of treading water. In James 5:16, it talks about health. How are you taking care of your body? So there's three different levels that you're going to look at. You got spiritually, physically, how's your health doing? And emotional. All three of those ranges are what make up you and your friends. So when you take that into a factor of what you're looking for in your friends, if I have someone who's emotionally not there, that's not going to work for me. If I have someone that's way too extreme with the emotional, they just cry at everything that you say. They see a puppy, they start crying. A kitten, they start crying. No, we can't be friends. But that might work for somebody else. That's not going to work for me. In Proverbs 13:20, it says, "Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future." The funny part about that is, is I always thought that was grandmama saying. You know, my mom would always say, hey, Chandler, you're known by the company you keep. I never understood that. I like to hang out with my friends, and I thought they were good people. And my mom would say, no, you know what, Chandler? That's not a good friend. I'm like, no, Mom, they're a good friend. They're ready to die. You don't understand. You don't know my life, Mom. They are there for me. And you're like, still, you're not allowed to talk to them. Oh, why are you ruining my life, Mom? Oh, go away. And that's happened more than once. But I look back on it, and I look at where they are in their life and where I am in mine. It's not that I'm in a better place or they're in a better place. We're just different. Sometimes you just need to take a different path to become what you think in your life a better person. I need a friend that's going to not only be weird like me, but support my weirdness. So being weird and supporting is two different things. If you're going to be weird with me, that's great. But if you're not, then you need to at least support it. So right now, the slides are catching up. On your piece of paper, you should have a little bit of room. I want you to sit and take the next about 1 minute and write down your 5 closest friends. Now, don't look who you're sitting next to and say, why didn't I make the list? Your 5 closest. Now, you're going to say, Chandler, but I've got 10. I've got 6. No, break it down to 5. And I'm going to tell you why 5 in just a second. All right. So, right after I joined the Army, my first roommate, he told me, he was like, hey, you know what, Chandler? You've only got friends, as many friends as you have on one hand. And I was like, I don't even know what that means. And so what? What if I'm missing a finger? He's like, no, you only have 5 friends. And this is pre-Facebook. I'm like, no, look at my cell phone. I got all these friends. He's like, Chandler, I'm telling you, you only got 5 friends. And then, it didn't make sense back then, but as time has gone on, I've really taken that to heart. I've got a lot of acquaintances. Maybe about 2 months ago, I did a talk up here, and we took a poll of how many friends. And I think somebody in here had a combined total between all 3 social media accounts of like 800 friends. And then I asked, I'm like, do you really have 8? Yeah, I have 800 friends. I'm like, no, just because you walk up to someone and say, hey, what's your Facebook? Add friend. Doesn't make them a friend. Having that many, because you go in different seasons of your life of who you need and who you consider a friend. Your qualifications for a friend should mature as you mature. Your friend the main qualification shouldn't be, hey, do you have Xbox Live? Yeah, all right, let's be a friend. You have to hang out with friends that are smarter than you. And that's a little humbling. Because no one wants to think of themselves as, well, if everyone in the group is smarter than me, then that makes me the learning curve. We'll just put it at that. But if you hang around people that are smarter than you, that kind of challenges you to up your game a little bit. Now, it's different from being smarter and wiser. In this room, there's people that are smarter than me. And I'm not talking about the back. I'm talking out here in the front. I still can't even pass intro to math college level. I don't think I'll ever take that class. I tried and failed it. But wiser, that comes through experience. And being wiser means you need to quit talking and listen, because you can't do both at the same time. And then I need to hang out with friends that are leaders. And that's difficult, because if you're like, well, I don't want to be a leader. Well, not everybody is a leader, and that's fine. But in this room, there are 2 types of people. There are leaders and supporting leaders. Because without supporting people, the leaders would always fail. You have two options when you're sitting there. And if you don't like that leader, you can say, you know what? If I was in charge, I would do it this way. Or if you like the person that's leading, you say, you know what? I like the way that person leads. I don't want to be up there, but I'm going to do everything in my power to help support that person. Fair enough. I wouldn't have gotten as far in my life or career without the mentors helping me to become a better leader and without the supporting people to get me there. So the question is, who's really got your back when it comes to friendship? And I don't mean, hey, Chandler, check it out. Food Depot, it's going down tonight. Cashiers versus baggers. Which side are you on? You ready to roll? Can I get a rip it out of it, you know? But no, I mean, maybe a Nerf fight. If a Nerf fight were to suddenly break out, yeah. I mean, if you saw that, would you be ready to go? I mean, that just looks like fun, right? I mean, you never know. Fighting isn't everything. And when people say, friends, oh, I got your back, I'm ready to do this. No. I mean, who's going to be there with you through family issues, financial troubles, relationship drama? Oh, that's the big one. There's always relationship drama. And as you get older, it doesn't go away. If you don't have it, your friends have it. And then you have to have that sympathetic ear and help them through it. We talked about friends versus acquaintances earlier. You know, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But how do we get friends? The issue is one of them is this thing called FOMO. Have you guys heard of that? Say it again. Say it louder. They can't hear you over there.
Fear of missing out.
Oh, bless your heart. There it is. Fear of missing out. FOMO. That's what it means. That means you can't unplug from the matrix long enough to make new friends. So if you guys noticed tonight, there's a lot of pink going on. And that is the connection team. That's one half of it. You have the life desk team, and you have a connection team. And the connection team's goal is to make new friends constantly. There's always somebody new that's going to be coming through these doors, and you have to do that awkwardness of just meeting and walking up and saying hello. Now, I can't do that alone. Once again, my delivery is not the best. I'd rather have a different face come up and go, hey, how you doing? Welcome to 155, rather than, hi, why are you here? Oh, welcome. Yeah, there's some free pizza, go. You know, but everyone likes to be included on stuff. When you haven't been here in a while, the first thing you do when you walk in through that door, somebody usually jumps up and gives you a high five or a hug or something, and I think that's really cool. When you haven't been somewhere and you come back and you've been missed, you're like, man, oh, they did realize I was gone. But to do that, it takes two things. You have to have eye contact, and you have to have conversation. And you can't achieve that by this. So I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to throw out the phone drop-off challenge. That means, oh, look, I can already see the faces. Oh, man. It's like I just cut off the Wi-Fi in here. That means when you come through that door, I will bag and tag your cell phone. And when you walk through here, your goal is to make a new friend. Now, everybody in here knows everybody as an acquaintance. But how many people in here know each other as a friend? So if you just try it, you might find a new BFF. We heard a testimony last week about Stacia and Faith becoming new friends. So let's take a poll. Who's willing to try that? I'll lead by example. I'll be the first one to drop my phone off. It's gonna be nerve-wracking. You're gonna think, oh, what FOMO? I'm missing out on something. What's going on out there? I guarantee you, whatever happened 2 hours ago, it's going to be the same when you get out. So live in the moment. Because not only will you possibly make a new friend, you could be the impact to somebody else that you didn't know. So we talked about being a friend, making new friends. How do you keep the ones you already have? That's just as hard. Proverbs 26 talks about earning their trust. Trust is earned, not given. And that's done through time. If you don't follow through with the stuff you say, you're not a person that can mean everything, I don't trust you. James 1:19, listen with empathy. Now, what is empathy? That means you got to care about, you got to have some kind of emotional response when someone's talking to you, talking about their issues, their problems. I have to work on that. I think I have the emotional range of a koala bear. Some of you guys do real great at it. When you guys walk in, like, hey, what happened? Oh, I got a 3.2 GPA this semester. And one of your friends is like, oh, man, oh, that's horrible. I know, I should have a 4.0. If you tell me you got a 3.2, I'm going to look at you like, and? There, let's hug, and go away. But the big one, Proverbs 17:9. Accept their flaws and bring out their best. That's hard. Making friends, being a good friend, keeping friends, but accepting their flaws and bringing out their best. So you guys might have a friend that never shows up on time. Never. So you have two options. You can sit there and say, you know what? You are never on time. Or you could say, bless your heart, I know you're never going to be on time, but you're always going to be there. And I appreciate the commitment that you make every time. Because some people can't even do that. They fall short every time. So out of those, so let's look back at your list at those 5 people. Do you have an unconditional friend? I have 2. Here's one. That is my unconditional friend. But I also have a bigger one. Everyone put your hands up. Go ahead, everybody. Now, if you have a friend and you would be friends with this person after they lied to you, keep your hand up. And be honest. Now, what if they stole? Would you still be friends with them? It could be money. It could be anything. It could steal your trust. What if they cheated? And I don't mean just relationship. It could be anything. Monetarily, they cheated you out of a job position. You guys would still be friends? Yes, maybe. The hand's getting heavy all of a sudden. What if they slapped you, physically harmed you? So if you guys look across the room, okay, you can put your hands down. It takes a lot to be an unconditional friend. The second friend I'm gonna talk to you about, I met him probably about 24 years ago, and we've been through everything together. He's been with me through the later part of high school. He's been with me through college. He's been with me through 3 deployments. He's been with me through 2 kids, marital issues, family issues, financial issues. That's a lot. And you know what? You know how I have repaid him in the past? I've lied to him. I've stolen from him. And I've cheated. And yes, I am. Talking about this guy. And that's pretty awesome, that the fact that no matter what I do to him, he still will take me back unconditionally. And no matter what you guys have done, he'll do the same for you. And he's done a lot for me. And if you don't think he can do what he's done for you plus more, then you're shortchanging him. Try him. I'm telling you. Proverbs 27:17, iron sharpens iron. That means if you want to be better, have a better relationship, make better friends, you have to hang out with better people. And I'm going to tell you right now from experience, that wisdom factor, the better your relationship is with this up here, the easier the relationships are out here. And if you do that, you'll save yourself a lot of heartache, stress, wasted time. Strive to bring out the best in your friends. Being alone, I'll be honest, being alone sucks. When you're sitting there and you feel that empty pit and you feel like no one else understands, I'm telling you, he's already been there and he knows the answer. He knows what you need to do, but maybe you're doing too much of this. Just be quiet, let him drop some knowledge on you, and then come up with a plan of action. Why don't you guys stand up? Go ahead and bring it up to the front. Bring it in. Pretend like we're a family. Pretend. All right, I want you guys to grab a hand, a shoulder, a pinky. All right, bow your heads. Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for letting us come here just to talk about how awesome you are and to help us do some little life reflection. And we walk through this building as individuals, but when we come in here, we're a family. And only you made that happen. You put each and every person in this room for a specific reason. God, I want you to watch over everybody in this room, the students, staff, and help them gain the wisdom that they need to make the right choices with their friends, because you're known by the friends you keep. Watch over them this week as they go through testing. Some people are going through major life changes here in the next 24 hours. Just help them out with that. Remind us that you're all we need and no problem is too big. In Jesus' name, amen.